Yo, how are we doing, everybody? So today I'm doing a guide on the final boss fight versus the Night Nexus. So unlike the second one, this one is pretty ridiculous, so I figured I would show you guys my entire loadout. I'm going to be using the Spirit Master here, mostly so I have access to Bravebearer. I think that's a very strong ability. I'll also be using the Shield Master, subbing Bastion. Mostly for the Protect Ally ability. This will allow my Shield Master to keep everyone alive even when they're at low health. I think that's very, very important. For my caster, I'm going to be using a Oracle, subbing Black Mage. The main thing going on here with the Oracle is just that it has in one's element, so I can take advantage of elemental weaknesses, and then Moonlighting, where I actually get the stats from my sub job, so I'll get stats boosted because I have Black Mage. And then I'll also be utilizing high velocity spells, the Black Mage specialty. I'll be doing that through an ability I'll be equipping. I'll show you that in a sec. Yeah, with Vanguard, I have 999 attack. Vanguard is busted, so yeah, Attention Seeker right there. Basically, your physical attack power and critical chance are boosted by having stats that increase your chance to be targeted, which we'll be having no problem with that. So yeah, as for my equipment, I'm trying to be immune to contagion here. I don't want to get hit by that. For my Shield Master, I'll just be using regular gear to just increase my defense as much as possible. I'm actually dual wielding with the Oracle here, doing as much damage as possible. I have the Ninja Garb and Sands of Time. That's really just to increase my speed. I want to take as many turns as possible. Same thing going on with my lovely Vanguard here. The Hermes Sandals and the Black Cow and all that. Like, I'm trying to not be blinded, but mostly I just want to go really fast. I'm actually using the Draconic Lance that I got from one of the Challenge Portal fights. So yeah, if you need help getting that weapon, I can show you how to do that. But yeah, right here with my abilities, Sub-Job Specialty 2 is really nice. This is going to make it so that I can use re-raise on multiple targets and things like that. For the Shield Master, again, the Sub-Job Specialty 1 here, but that one is just to increase how strong my defending is. And yeah, Unshakable Will, I don't want to be hit by any status ailments. No Guts, No Glory, I'm trying to increase my defense as much as possible. And then with the Oracle, we have Magic Critical, so I can actually do critical damage. The Sub-Job Specialty 2, which I mentioned earlier, that'll allow me to hit the boss even if they are immune to my attacks. And yeah, Dual Wield is really going to help, as that's just going to really up my magical attack. And then with the Vanguard, I'm also using Sub-Job Specialty 2. This allows me to really spam my abilities, because I'll be using Monk abilities to deal my damage, which the Sub-Job BP Saver is very important here. And again, I am dual wielding. Like, it's interesting because I'm a Vanguard using Monk abilities that also happens to have every Dragoon ability, because of the weapon I'm using here, which I think is really, really interesting. As for the weaknesses, the Night Nexus here, it is not really weak to a lot, though it's immune to dark, or absorb, so do look out for that. And yeah, this Grasping Hand also absorbs dark, but has a few more weaknesses. And the Cradling Hand is also going to absorb dark. So yeah, basically just keep these weaknesses in mind for whatever jobs you decide to use. You don't necessarily have to use the same ones as me. But yeah, here we go. Into the fight itself. There's a lot of abilities we're going to be getting hit by. Calamity Calls, that puts contagion on everyone. Not Seth though, as I showed in my equipment section. I'm just going to be immune to contagion, so I don't have to worry about losing my BP. Though honestly, with the strategy I'm using, the MP isn't too important. Exclusion is going to take away Adele. Exclusion is a very powerful ability. You're just going to be down a party member that can really mess up your strategy. But if the characters that get excluded, if they have high speed, they'll just come right back. So I think high speed is very, very useful here. I lost a lot of MP there. I lost like 193 on Elvis because of the contagion. I'll cure that in a bit. Which actually, with my Spirit Master abilities, the mini spirits that are out, they'll take care of it for me. World Ender just does a lot of damage, but it's not that big a deal. Ruin does actually take MP as well, so that's definitely something you need to look out for. But yeah, ideally I want to keep my party members at low HP so that Gloria can block all of these attacks and their secondary effects. So, you know, I can protect them, keep their MP up, keep them away from certain statuses. And then yeah, the exclusion, it's not guaranteed to hit, and the physical attacks the boss does, not too big a deal. Salvation hurts quite a bit, which again, it is good though, like my party members are now in the yellow, so I'll be getting more protect allies activated. And then yeah, with Adele, I'm just going to be using pressure points, like basically whenever I have the BP for it. As you can see, I can deal a lot of damage because I have 999 attack stat. So everything Adele does is going to be very powerful. And yeah, you can see that rune right there. It didn't take any MP because Gloria already had 0. But yeah, we do have to keep Gloria up, so that is why I will be subbing White Mage, so I'm able to still pour out like powerful heals. I can't just rely on my spirits to do the healing. It is nowhere near enough. And then yeah, the other hand is actually weak to fire, so I'll be taking advantage of that. And then the main Night Nexus itself, it's not actually weak to thunder, but I'm just going to use it anyways. I just like using that ability, as if anything were to go wrong, I know thunder can hit everything normally, which is how I fought the original Night Nexus. But yeah, Bravebearer is really good. With the Spirit Master, if you have the lower BP, you can actually have 2 of those active. And then right here, with Single-Minded, Unshakable Will, and Spirited Defense, all of these abilities are protecting me from the Berserker ailment here, which is something you definitely want to look out for. If you get Berserkered, you don't get control of your own character, they'll start doing whatever, which again can mess up your strategy and put you in a bad spot. So abilities are very important. I know that sometimes it's like, oh, okay, I just need to grind, I just need to be really high level. That's not actually the case. Sometimes you can have a really easy fight just if you have the right loadout, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, speaking of just grinding and doing damage, I do have the job levels I need to have access to Pressure Point, which allows me to do so much damage. And then yeah, with the Protect Ally here, I don't have to worry about counter attacks coming into Adele. It's basically not going to do anything. It's just not real damage for Gloria. You can take those hits like 500 per, that's nothing. And again, by tanking that ruin, no one else is losing their MP. But yeah, this is very important. The hands do come back. Like, those aren't gone forever. So this fight, it's integral that you're able to deal a lot of damage and deal it quickly. You don't want to slow fight, as the boss will definitely outlast you. And if you do have that high damage, the boss will go into this second phase. He'll start using more powerful attacks, like a World Annihilated there, which is very damaging. And there's definitely, the damage will differ throughout the fight, I assure you. And then yeah, right here, the boss will actually do something here, where they stop you from being able to use your party members. And you have to actually call out their name to get them back into their senses, remembering who they are. And you do that just by selecting the top ability for Seth. And as you can see, this is a story segment of the battle right now, so even if when you bring your people back, they can't actually deal any damage, they can't do anything. World Forsaken looks scary, but it will not kill you, so don't worry about that. Just use the Remember ability, get your teammates to remember who they are. And yeah, you don't need to worry about healing either. Healing is not necessary. You just want to use Remember on everyone. That's literally all that matters right now. You don't need to be gaining VP, you don't need to be gaining HP, because yeah, once you use Remember on your 3 party members, then the boss will cause Seth to forget who he is, and then as soon as he remembers, everyone gets all the BP, max HP, max MP. The fight's not over yet though, like this is still definitely a fight. The boss has a lot of HP, so do take this phase seriously. It's just you do get a nice starting point. The boss is far more aggressive than they were previously. Like before, because it was a story segment, they weren't trying to kill you, but now the boss will. A Courage Squandered, that's going to take away everyone's BP. I think that's why the Spirit Master is so nice here. I can use multiple Bravebringers to try to outdo that. And then yeah, right here with Gloria, I'm subbing Bastion, so I have access to like Rampart and Validation, which can be very useful for negating some of the AE damage that this boss can do, so do try to keep that in mind. And then yeah, here with Elvis, I'm not doing anything crazy. his thing is just Thundaga. It works just fine as long as you Oh, and then a Tragic Denouement. This is a pretty crazy ability. It's just going to reduce all of your stats across the board. It's ridiculous. And then, yeah, World Annihilated right after that. Not something you want to take. But again, this is why we have the Spirit Master. Because as well as a Bravebearer, it's also we have the Purebringer. And the Purebringer will get rid of all of these status ailments that we have. Like, they normally get rid of, like, re-raise as well. But because... Ooh, and yeah, the boss does counter when you use buff, so definitely be wary of that. You don't want to be getting hit by, any of those counters there. But, yeah, if you have the Purebringer, you just give it a couple of turns, and then it'll eventually kick in and get rid of all of the debuffs that you have, and, a Wellspring Depleted, that does get rid of all of your MP. There's not a lot you can do about that. But if you've stocked up on Ethers, Phoenix Downs and stuff like that, Elixirs, because you can buy Elixirs at this point. They're very, very expensive, but they're great, because yeah, the Elixirs are way better than the Ethers, because the boss counters when you use items, and you don't want to get hit by that. You're just going to lose your BP. You're going to find yourself more and more on the back foot. But yeah, the Purebringer cures all of the Tragic Denouement, so you don't have to worry about those debuffs as long as you have your Spirit Master at low BP, which the boss will naturally help you with. And then, yeah, that World Forsaken, it is very, very, very painful. But again, this is why I have the very strong Shield Master here. This is why I have all these increases to my defense, my magical defense, so that even in like crazy situations like this, I'm still able to just go into my inventory, pull out some Phoenix Downs, bring my characters back. Like, yeah, a Courage will be squandered when they counter me for rezzing my teammates, but that's better than getting a game over. So I have no problem with this. And then again, the Bravebringer will just give me BP back as well, so it's not all bad. And then yeah, if you have your specials, which like your supers, you definitely want to have those prepared before you go into this fight. It can make the fight a little bit easier, because you generally just have to use, I think it is 12 class abilities, so it's your class ability 12 times, and you'll be good to go. And yeah, that'll definitely help when you can heal yourself to full, or get max revives with Spirit Master, basically depending on which class you're playing. And yeah, that is pretty much this fight. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments down below. I make sure to read every one, and I am happy to help anyone. This boss fight is definitely tricky, so don't feel too bad if you have trouble. Alright, peace!